Hey, Evan.
Yeah.
Ask me why I'm dressed like an asshole.
Why you dressed like an asshole?
Because this movie was fucking clown shoes. And I felt that I should dress it for the occasion.
I can't look at you right now.
Good. Hey everybody. Hey internet. This is my buddy Evan.
Hey, what's up?
We just saw a movie called The Snowman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
Snowman's directed by Tomas Alfredson, the guy who brought us Let the Right One In, one of my favorite movies ever made. And it stars Michael Fassbender, Sassy Fassy, and Rebecca Ferguson, and Charlotte Gainsbourg, and Toby Jones, and a bunch of other people who are far too talented to be in this movie.
It's like all the pieces were set up and
Hey Evan, what's this movie about?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm still processing.
There's a killer who likes snowmen.
Was the killer wasn't a snowman?
He should have been. Honestly, that would have probably made it a better movie.
That would have. Like, honestly, that's what I thought it was for at least a quarter of the movie.
Dude,
I thought it was gonna be like that
wish.
kind of angle or something.
That would honestly be fucking amazing.
I also don't remember the first trailer, so I think the first trailer.
There was only one
basically
trailer, I
was-
think.
Really?
I don't fucking know.
It's really hard to talk about this movie, just generally in any kind of like breakdown anything way. It was shot well.
Yeah, it looked pretty.
What are you doing?
I'm buttoning it. Got a frog.
That looks snug as fuck.
It's fine. I'm cool. Hey, so the Snowman is a murder mystery, kind of, and
It's more of a cinema mystery.
Hey, Evan.
Yeah.
What's Michael Fassbender's character's name?
Harry Hole. I want to die. Every time somebody
The legendary Harry Hole.
Every time somebody said his name,
I burst out
camera,
laughing.
I didn't understand. Like, they must have done several takes per every time somebody had to say
I can't understand how somebody wrote this and like no one read that and was like, "Hey, this sounds silly." This kid would have had a horrible time in high school. Maybe that's why he drinks so much.
It's all connected. It's all part of
it. All makes sense. It all fits.
It was. I'm trying to dig up any positive thing I can.
I genuinely can't. This movie's incomprehensible. It truly is, and I mean, I feel silly saying that because I don't want people to watch this and be like, "Oh no, you just didn't get." No, you can't understand this film.
It's the perfect like example of how
editing can fuck a movie.
Yeah, or make a movie too. In the case of it's like there's no sense of time or space in this movie.
There's not.
Like a scene will start, and I think every time a scene started, we ask like, "Are we in the past?"
There's one time in the entire movie where it cuts back to a flashback that it actually tells you it's a flashback.
Title card. Like there's a title card that says like 9 years earlier, and you're like, "Oh, cool." Also, what? Because that was also from nowhere.
And every time after that, it doesn't give you any indication that you're in the past, other than the fact that Val Kilmer is there. Who, buddy, are you okay? Like, I'm praying for you.
Definitely worrisome.
Yeah, he looked very ill. Like, he may be on death's door.
He was dubbed.
All of his lines were dubbed and really poorly.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't match up with his mouth movements, which is understandable because apparently he barely has a mouth to move at this point.
His scene... How many fucking scenes did he have in the movie?
3.
What was his role in the movie?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know who any of the characters in the movie were. I literally know, like, Harry Hole, because you can't forget that.
You can't forget Harry Hole.
And then J.K. Simmons was in it. I don't know who he was.
That's right, he was in it.
He was some guy.
He was the snowman. They were all the snowman.
Everyone was the snowman.
I think I don't know how many times you leaned over to me and he's the snowman.
We were the only people in the theater, which made this movie a lot more fun. This was a very fun movie-going experience because there was nobody there but us, so we were just kind of out loud trying to process what the fuck was going on.
And when it comes to these kind of movies, it's like usually like when a movie is like bad fun, at least like the movie helps you. We were the only people that were getting ourselves through the movie.
Well, here's the thing. I was paying attention.
Yeah.
And fully paying attention, I had no fucking idea what was going on. To the point where about 3/4 of the way through the movie, I just checked out. Because I was like, this is completely nonsensical. It is totally... It really is incomprehensible.
Yeah,
There's no fucking
Every time a
word for it.
conversation would end, I'd be confused that the conversation ended there. Because I feel like the scene was like, oh, here's more information for you. And none of it just worked. None of it paid off. None of it worked in conjunction with other stuff.
This film was somehow too expository and yet not expository enough.
Yeah, it had a lot to
Weird
say.
paradox.
It had a lot of words to say, but nothing to say. There was no
Yeah.
information that stuck. I don't know. It didn't feel like they were speaking like English. It didn't feel like
It hopped
they
between
were conversations.
It hopped between, like, every scene in this movie was parallel action with another scene.
Yeah.
But they had nothing to do with each other and didn't really work at all for the idea of what parallel action is supposed to be used for, which
Yeah,
is building
exactly.
tension.
Yeah.
And there was no tension in this movie because I didn't, A, know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
B, care what the fuck was going on. Or C, care about any of the fucking characters.
Yeah, at all. It's
Like-
just completely... I think the thing that bothers me the most about the movie is that I think it's a thematic movie.
Is it?
I think that it's like one of those movies that's like... Again, I have no idea. This is my attempt to extract some kind of meaning from this garbage. Is that there's like some kind of attempt at understanding something underneath. It's like a movie that wants to have subtext but has no text. That's the way I put it to you earlier, is that like, it's like there's no surface level story to understand any of what it was trying to be underneath it. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Fuck if I know.
It's this thing is totally...
Me blowing spit bubbles is pretty much a summation of me during the movie.
That was... No, that sounds right. That was... I got depressed like 3 times watching this
There's a
movie.
point when Harry Hole's his ex-wife comes over and she's like, "Hey, I miss you," and she's like, "Hey, let's fuck," and she puts on music and like straddles him,
Kind of dry
and then
humps him
just
for a
like
second.
dry humps him for a
Yeah.
second and just grinds on him, and then stands up and turns off the music and walks away.
That was the scene.
That was the scene, and then it cuts away to some other scene.
Yeah.
and it cuts back to that scene.
Like, I
And it's
thought
just
that
her
scene was
leaving the
over.
fucking apartment.
I thought that scene was over. When she shut off the music, I was like, oh, okay, we're leaving. And
Okay,
then,
but like, here's the thing: if that scene wasn't over, would it have changed a goddamn thing?
No, it wouldn't have, and that's what I'm saying. And then when it cut back, I was even more... Somehow, they managed to make me even more confused in the context of it cutting to a new scene. I was like, okay, I guess we're moving on. And then we didn't. And I was like, where are we?
This whole movie is just a barrage on your sense of space-time,
Yeah.
and it's really stupid. Which is really annoying and awful because, like I said, this director directed one of my favorite films of all time.
Right.
To go from that to this is like how the dude went from The Crow to Gods of Egypt. It's like
Yeah.
such a fall from grace.
Yeah.
And it's a really depressing one, and I'm very upset about it. And the fact that he flat out said, like, publicly, hey, yeah, I didn't shoot like 10 to 15% of this movie. What does that mean?
My question is, would it have helped if... At all? Like, would
I mean,
would
it
help?
would have had to. This fucking thing was a best-selling novel, and apparently it's really good, from what I understand.
Yeah, I guess. I don't
So,
know.
I don't
heard
know,
about
did they
it, so-
cut out, did they just cut out everything that made sense?
I don't know. And honestly, and the way it was cut generally, like, if it was cut with
It's
some
an assault on
kind
your
of,
senses.
yeah, if it was like cut to some kind of at least momentary continuity, where it's like we understand from shot to shot what is happening.
Yeah, no. but-
Like structural, I can get over, but at least momentary, so we can understand the pieces. I didn't. So like there was a point. I think it was towards, I don't know, the end of the second act. I don't even know if this movie has acts.
I don't think it's
But like towards like, I don't know, the end of the middle. There was like this point
beginning of
where
the middle of the end.
where Michael Fassbender was with his ex-wife.
Maybe, whatever the fuck she is. I
I don't know who anybody is in this movie. But they were together at one point, and then it cuts away for a second to something else, because
Yeah.
of course it does. And then it cuts back, and Michael Fassbender's alone in a house looking through something, and it's supposed
Yes,
to be the same
yes,
night.
I remember,
And I was like,
yes.
where did she go? They were together.
Vanished, yeah.
They were-
There's no direct sense of continuity whatsoever.
Like, it was shot well.
Yeah, hey, what can you say anything positive about this movie?
Yeah. It was shot well. It was shot in this way that was like...
There's some nice cinematography. There's a lot of establishing shots. It's like 90% establishing shots, actually.
Yeah.
And somehow I still don't know where the fuck we were at any given time.
It's like they would show like these really large like mountain shots with snow, and I'm like, cool.
It's pretty.
After like the 8th time, I'm like, all right, we get it. You're in this really pretty...
I think there were three separate instances throughout this movie where I was just like, it's pretty at least. The cinematographer did a good job.
But even then, motivation-wise, I'm like, why? There was like one shot that was awesomely beautiful.
Yeah.
Of, like the two characters, they were standing and talking. And there's this great sweeping shot of like the mountains behind them.
Oh, that one. No,
and the mountains.
You're talking about the one on the lake at the end.
Oh, yeah,
that's a great shot.
That one's also really great. But like they're just two characters talking, and there's like the mountains are in the background, and they're sweeping and they're moving, and they're out of focus, and I'm like, what's the point of this? Are they talking about where they are? Is there some kind of...
It's pretty.
Yeah, like it was shot for aesthetic, I guess. It wasn't shot for...
I can say two nice things about this movie.
Oh, okay.
One, it played the popcorn song. And two, I can safely say this film is unpredictable because I had no idea what was going on. It cuts to like a concert and this dude is just like having a fucking epileptic fit on stage, and it doesn't really go anywhere. And it just goes away as soon as it came, and you're left just... That was the moment I genuinely, like, I was like kind of sitting there, and I just kind of like jumped. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
I was lost 20 minutes into the movie, so I was at least able to recover from that faster. So I look over at you, and you're clawing your eyes out.
Yeah.
Like it was over at that point.
Yeah. Hey, Ev.
Yeah.
What would you rate this movie? It's a garbage fire for me.
I would say Soulless.
Soulless is... I mean, you could say definitely... I think Soulless you can make an argument for, considering everybody just phoned the fuck in their performance. Yeah. There was nothing redeeming in this movie for me. Like, even the cinematography, which was very nice, like, was just... It did not make up for anything at all, because...
And performance-wise, also, like, going back to that, it's like...
Fassbender, what the fuck, man?
It's crazy, because I think that was one of the things I went in hoping would not save the movie, but, like, you know, you go in and be like, hey, maybe this has some kind of a redeemable... maybe I could just switch off my brain and enjoy performances. That didn't even happen.
No. I may even say it's the worst film I've seen all year. And that's saying something, because I saw the fucking Bye-Bye Man. I love a good bad movie, but this was just not even a fun bad movie. This was just really bland and boring and fucking unintelligible. Like, it was just truly a fucking mess.
I'm still blown away. Like, I'm still having difficulty processing it.
I felt like I had an aneurysm.
There's like a mountain of terrible things, and there's like
one good thing.
Like one
coffee bean.
Yeah, like what?
Relevance.
Yeah, that's something in the...
You should know you should do? You should follow him, subscribe to his channel. Hey, you want to give a little shout out to your fucking channel?
Yeah, sure. You can go to youtube.com//EvanX275H.
It's a lot of name numbers.
Yeah, I know. I made it like 10 years ago, man. Just leave it. It's fine. And yeah, I make movies and stuff.
He makes cool stuff. You should follow him. He's really talented.
You should also like subscribe to him because he's really good too.
If you're watching,
if you happen to just find this on YouTube search results, somehow
you should just like click down there and like and comment and subscribe. And I don't usually dress like this.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Thanks, Internet.